For years, California's rental market was the villain in the American housing story. Landlords ruled, renters lost. But in 2025, something seismic shifted. The tables have turned, and the landlords aren't ready. Across California right now, rental listings are piling up. Vacancy rates are climbing to levels not seen in a decade. According to Zillow and Redfin, statewide rental prices have dropped an average of 6% this year. In some cities, double-digit declines. Luxury apartments, once renting in hours, now sit empty for months. Free months of rent, deposit waivers, price cuts that were unthinkable 2 years ago. Three forces triggered this. Massive new construction flooding the market, slowing migration as remote work expectations shifted, and sky-high living costs pushing even well-paid professionals out of state. It's the perfect storm. Today, we're walking through 10 California cities where this collapse is happening fastest and what's really driving it.
Number 10 on our countdown, Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita is a promised suburban perfection. Clean streets, excellent schools, the American dream. For years, families fled LA's chaos for this haven. But in 2025, that dream is quietly unraveling. Vacancy rates hit 7.8%, the highest in a decade. Median rent for a two-bedroom dropped from $2,900 to $2,250, a 23% plunge. Why? Developers built aggressively during the pandemic, convinced the exodus from LA would never end. Massive new complexes rose with expectations they'd fill immediately. But remote work rolled back. Companies called people back to offices. The commuting drain proved unsustainable. For the first time, renters hold the power. Landlords offer free months and waive deposits. Unheard of just 2 years ago. Santa Clarita's charm remains, but its housing equation no longer makes sense. Moving down to number 9, Sacramento. California's capital became the symbol of escape from the Bay Area. Tens of thousands of remote workers moved in between 2020 and 2022. Rents climbed 40% in 3 years. Cranes filled the skyline. Luxury towers broke ground. Investors declared it a frontier of prosperity. In 2025, the tide flipped completely. Vacancy rates surged to 9.2%. Average rents down 7% year over year. The story is developer optimism colliding with reality. They expected permanent population growth, but got temporary migration. Many Bay Area transplants have left, some returning to offices, others moving to Boise or Austin. Downtown towers that once had wait lists now offer 60 days free just to convert inquiries into leases. Sacramento's boomtown euphoria has deflated.
Strolling into number 8, Long Beach. Long Beach offered ocean views without Malibu's price tag. It was the middle-class answer to Southern California's housing crunch. In 2025, that story has fundamentally changed. Vacancy rates climbed to nearly 10%, the highest since the Great Recession. The median two-bedroom dropped from $2,700 to $2,400. Luxury high-rises downtown are cutting prices by hundreds just to compete. 2 months free, no deposit. These signs hang where waiting lists used to be. During the pandemic, builders bet coastal demand would never slow. But the return to office wave undercut that gamble. Hybrid workers left, some headed back toward LA job hubs, others left California entirely. Rising costs deepened the strain, insurance premiums up over 20%, utilities climbing, rent control pushing smaller landlords to sell or pull units. Long Beach's accessible coast has become another symbol of California's rental reckoning.
At lucky number 7, in a not-so-lucky spot, Oakland. Swinging into the East Bay, Oakland's famed resilience faces a challenge. Vacancy rates surged past 10.5%, average rents dropped 11%. Luxury high-rises that once filled with San Francisco commuters now stand half empty. Oakland's unraveling began with tech layoffs of 2023. Thousands of workers suddenly left the region. Remote work emptied offices. Crime and safety concerns accelerated out-migration. Landlords are slashing rents by hundreds. Some offer free rent for the first quarter. Others include parking or gym memberships just to attract tenants. For investors who banked on constant appreciation, it's freefall. Many smaller owners are selling at a loss. For number 6, let's cruise over to Los Angeles. LA seemed immune to corrections for decades, until now. Rental prices across LA County fell 8% year over year, the steepest drop since 2009. Vacancy rates crept above 7%, with some neighborhoods reporting double that. Even the West Side, once untouchable, now sees empty listings lingering with incentives attached. The cause is outmigration. Since 2020, over 200,000 residents left LA County, lured by lower costs in Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. Remote work gave people freedom. They didn't come back. Developers kept building, convinced the city's allure would fill every high-rise. Instead, towers sit half full. For the first time in over a decade, renters have leverage. It's a painful awakening. LA isn't collapsing, it's resetting.
Sliding into number 5, San Diego. Few cities symbolize coastal paradise like San Diego. In 2025, even paradise is overeating. Rents fell 7%. Vacancy rates climbed beyond 8%, the highest since 2010. It's happening in once red-hot neighborhoods like Pacific Beach, Little Italy, and Hillcrest. Developers flooded the skyline with luxury apartments, betting on high-income tenants from biotech and defense. But inflation, high interest rates, and shrinking budgets slowed demand to a crawl. Those sleek coastal towers now offer move-in bonuses and rent credits just to stay afloat. The problem isn't just overbuilding, it's affordability collapse. San Diego's rental correction isn't a collapse, it's a comeback to reality.
Heading up the coast for number 4, San Francisco. No city defines California's highs and lows like San Francisco. It's now ground zero for the state's deepest rental decline. Vacancy rates soared past 11%. The median one-bedroom dropped from $3,750 to $3,200. Downtown, once the beating heart of the tech world, feels hollowed out. Remote work decimated the workforce. Tech layoffs stripped away tens of thousands of high-paying tenants. Developers converted underused offices into residential units, flooding the market with supply. Entire districts, from Soma to Civic Center, tell the same story. Sleek glass towers sit half dark at night. Even iconic properties now offer move-in incentives and rent cuts unthinkable 5 years ago. For the first time in years, middle-income renters can afford parts of the city again. San Francisco's identity is shifting. The boomtown has hit bottom.
Time for a turn east for number 3, Riverside. Riverside represented hope, a haven for Californians priced out of the coast. In 2025, even the Inland Empire's stronghold shows cracks. Vacancy rates surged to 9.4%, average rents down nearly 10% year over year, an astonishing reversal for a region once called California's affordability firewall. During the pandemic migration boom, developers raced to meet what seemed like endless demand. New complexes rose across Moreno Valley, East Hemet, and downtown Riverside. But population growth stalled. Remote work rolled back. The very workers who fled here are now leaving California entirely. Property insurance and utilities have climbed sharply. Job markets and logistics and warehousing softened. When Amazon scaled back expansion, thousands of jobs vanished. Landlords are offering creative deals. Waived fees, free parking, flexible leases, anything to slow the vacancy spiral. Yet many complexes remain quiet. Riverside's promise of stability has turned into a lesson in fragility. Flying up to number 2, San Jose. San Jose stood untouchable, the jewel of Silicon Valley, the highest rents west of Manhattan. In 2025, even the tech capital struggles to fill apartments. Median rent dropped 12% year over year. Vacancy rates surged above 10%, levels not seen in 2 decades. Tech layoffs at Google, Meta, and PayPal emptied thousands of high-income households. Remote work freed employees from the Bay's brutal cost. Younger professionals moved to Austin, Denver, and Salt Lake City. Downtown's sleek towers now stand half empty. Luxury complexes are quietly dropping rents by $400 to $700 per month. San Jose's housing was built on perpetual optimism, the belief that the tech engine would never slow. That faith has faltered. For tenants, it's a long-awaited reprieve. And finally, number 1 on our list, Bakersfield.
California's working-class stronghold and long-time affordability anchor. In 2025, even Bakersfield faces an oversupply crisis, rewriting its story. Vacancy rates exploded past 12%, the highest in the state. Rents dropped 13% year over year. Developers rushed to build thousands of units during the pandemic boom, betting migration from LA and Fresno would never slow. But demand evaporated. Entire new complexes sit half-empty along town edges, offering 2 months free and no deposit. Job losses deepened the pain. Agriculture hit by drought and automation. Logistics and oil softened. Many renters packed up and left entirely. For landlords, it's a wake-up call. The safe market myth vanished. If even Bakersfield is struggling with vacancies, California's rental market correction isn't coming. It's already here.
From Santa Clarita to Bakersfield, California's rental market is resetting. For the first time in years, power is shifting and renters are back in the driver's seat. It's a cultural shakeup, one that will define where people live and how the Golden State works for years to come. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop a comment telling us what city you live in and how much you're paying for rent these days.